Come on, baby, throw my nuts in the fire tonight. Burn me up and treat me like shit, you whore. Anyways, whew. So I don't normally do this kind of content on my channel, but I want to do a review of WWE tables, ladders, and chairs TLC. All right, come on, little man, lay down. All right, good boy. You lay down. Lay down. Come on, Dave's doing a review. Lay down. Anyways, now I'm going to do this review because, like I said, I don't normally do this kind of topic, so I'm going to explain it as if somebody who doesn't know what I'm talking about and try to explain it to them. So if for some reason a diehard fan, in other words, I'm going to explain a lot of stuff that maybe a diehard fan doesn't need explained to them. But for those who don't know and don't watch the product, I want, whatever. Now, I am going to say the way the original show was booked was straight garbage, just straight shit. If we're going to grade it out of 10, this was like a 2.5 to 3. This, even at its best, would have been a 3. There literally was 2 matches that would have been mildly interesting. That's the Alexa Bliss match with Mickie James for the women, and the main event with Shield and everybody else. There would have been basically 2 matches. The rest of it would have been straight garbage. Which kind of was straight garbage, but fuck it, I'll give the review right now. I'll give the score right now. I give it a... Screw it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It would have been a 3 out of 10. I'll give it a 6. I'll be generous and give it a 6. Now, I know there's people out there, well, this is the greatest thing ever, man. It's like an 8 out of 10. No, dude, this was no 8 out of 10. Not even close. First off, I'm sorry. They did not know how to book shit. I'm just going to throw that out to there. WWE does not know how to book shit. Now, you look at NXT. They book shit proper. Their last TakeOver event, what was that first match? It was CN, what's his face? And Johnny Wrestling Guy, whatever the fuck his name is. Those two opened the show and was the best thing out. I mean, they were literally the greatest thing that's happened ever. Okay, that match was great, and it was the opener. And especially, what was that, SummerSlam? Yeah, SummerSlam back in August. Or whatever it was. It completely stole the show. Now, the rest of that show was good too, but it completely set the bar. It literally set the bar. And then you go to the actual main WWE product, 2 days later, next day, whatever it was. And the main product was complete garbage. So it's like, ugh. Anyway, I don't want to get into that right now. Now, one of my biggest problems is Asuka. Not her personally, but they set her up for the last 6 weeks because she got hurt. Now, for those who don't know, she was in NXT. She was there for 500 and some odd days, and she won. Well, actually more than that, but she won the title, and she was the women's champion for 500 and some days. She was undefeated, and then she got hurt. And then when she got hurt, she took time. She took a couple months off, whatever it was, month off, and she made her debut on the main roster tonight. Now, that poses a lot of problems because for 6 weeks on the main roster, Raw kept showing vignettes of her and little things and like, oh, she's this big badass, she's gonna come steamroll over everybody and 500 and some days undefeated and blah blah blah. They were playing up her NXT role. Now, for those who don't know, NXT does it right. Vince McMahon is senile as fuck and doesn't do it right. Completely ruins his own shit. Whatever they build in NXT, he completely face fucks into oblivion and completely ruins everything. There are some really talented people there that are sitting in catering 99% of the time. And whatever, man. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. And I don't want to get into that. Maybe I will, I don't know, but whatever. So they're playing up what she did in NXT, and then they bring her to the main roster. Okay, fine. Now, I, as a fan who watch NXT, I expect that to carry over into the main roster. The problem is, you look at Bayley, you look at, hell, even Sasha Banks, you look at, look at any of them. That shit does not carry over. I'm sorry, the women have not had as good matches on the main roster as they did in NXT. I don't know if it's the setting, I don't know if it's the vibe of the crowd, or what, but they had some big fight feel shit in NXT. They come up to the main roster and it's like crickets, nothing. And I don't think it's them. I don't think it's them at all. So, I don't know, like Bayley's a good example. Bayley has done nothing. Well, I shouldn't say Bayley's done nothing. They've done nothing with Bayley since she moved up to the main roster. But anyways, let's get back to the point. Now, Asuka, was making her debut tonight on TLC against Emma. Now, here's an interesting thing about Emma. They've done nothing with Emma. She was called up, what, I think like 3 years ago or some shit? They've done nothing with her. Now, when you go back to NXT, now her and Dana Brooke, they actually were having good matches. Dana Brooke was having really good matches with Asuka right before she got her, because Asuka ended up hurting her. And she has not been the same since. And then she got hurt, took time off, and then they brought her up to the main roster, which I think was stupid and way too freaking soon. And then they've done zero with her. Nothing. She's not even on the show half the time. Now, although to be fair, I watched the Hulu version, so she may be on the 3-hour television version, but I don't see her, so... And even so, obviously she's not important enough to be on the Hulu version, so... Okay. Which means they ain't doing shit with her, basically. Even if she is on the regular show, and she probably is, they ain't doing nothing with her. At least nothing important. So... They bring Emma up. Now, Emma did have a little bit of a problem. They wanted her to do this, like dance gimmick where she's wearing these gowns, and they basically gave that to Lana, which that failed miserably. I don't even know what the hell they're doing with that. I watched the Hulu, so I don't even know what the hell Lana's doing. I haven't seen Lana in about 3 months. Again, I don't know if she's on the actual show, but she's not on Hulu, so whatever. And it just didn't work out, whatever. So, Emma has done nothing. Again, not of her own, not against her, because she's talented. If they booked her properly, and the matches were set up properly to put her over, even slightly, they would have a really good thing. So now you have Asuka, who's this complete badass, who's supposed to steamroll over everybody, going up against Emma, who's done nothing, and Emma basically, goes to town on her. What the fuck was that all about? Now, I didn't want to see a total squash match where Asuka just comes in and literally steamrolls over her, and that's it. So she put up a little bit of a fight as far as like the back and forth goes, and the 50-50 booking and all that crap. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's great, that's great." Well, the problem with that, and a lot of people don't want to understand this, the problem with that is, as I said, Emma has done nothing. They've done nothing with her, yet Emma put up a fight against Asuka, who's supposed to be this powerhouse to steamroll everybody. So now when Asuka goes to the main roster, or goes to Raw, now that she's on the main roster, she's going to go to Raw and battle the women who have been there day in and day out, unlike Emma. Now obviously she was there, but like in the back, but she wasn't like on TV or had a big spot or had a big role. How is she going to steamroll and be like this powerhouse against the other women? It's like, oh, she's this badass, and you don't see it. It's like Shinsuke Nakamura is supposed to be this King of Strong style. You don't see it. Since he's been moved up, dude, he was amazing in NXT. He was literally a fucking rock star. The way they set him up was phenomenal. Same thing with Bobby Roode. Phenomenal. They get moved up, nothing. It's like literally wind out of the little balloon going floating away. Nothing. The booking on the main roster, and I don't know if it's Vince or what, but it's garbage. Straight fucking garbage. Dumpster fire type shit. So, I don't know how I feel about the booking of what they did with Asuka and Emma tonight. Now, like I said, would rather see an NXT type of thing where... See, I think the era of, quote-unquote, the guy needs to end. The era of the jobber, quote-unquote, that shit needs to end. Now, yeah, obviously the jobber, and for those who don't know, is basically somebody who's just going to lose to put the other guy over, essentially. Now, obviously somebody's got to lose, so somebody's going to, quote-unquote, job for the other guy, but if they made them, and I mean them as collective, everyone, better and made them more interesting and actually booked them properly so that they all looked strong, you'd have amazing shit going on there. Because the amount of fucking talent that WWE has right now, the abundance of talent that they're not using fully, is just absurd. Now what happened with this pay-per-view is two of the main wrestlers, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, in two different matches, two different storylines, two different everything, they ended up getting viral meningitis. They couldn't be on the show. So they had to instantly scramble. They had to dust off Kurt Angle. Now, obviously he wrestled in TNA, but as far as WWE goes, he hasn't wrestled for 11 years. So they're making his big official comeback with zero build, because basically what happened was they changed the pay-per-view on Friday. This is Sunday night. Or no, actually I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. Which means they had to scramble to get shit going so they could do this pay-per-view. That's TLC pay-per-view, which is tables, ladders, and chairs. And I'm sorry, but they completely ruined Kurt as far as I'm concerned. They completely... Now, I understand they needed a big name. I get it. And then they had to call AJ Styles up, who's on SmackDown, which is... This is basically a Raw branded pay-per-view. And there's the brand split, so you got that happening. Now, I admit it was kind of cool that Triple H came in and actually wrestled in place of AJ Styles. But they have so much talent, he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to. Kurt Angle shouldn't have had to. They've got so many big name superstars that the entire roster, you should be able to take a Bray Wyatt out, take a Roman Reigns out, and the card should be amazing. Maybe not as good, but amazing. The problem is they put all their little baskets into Roman Reigns and John Cena and all these other guys who suck. Now, I will say that Roman Reigns sucks less than Cena. Cena can't wrestle for shit. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, no. Cena can't wrestle. He is stiff as dicks in the ring. Because the problem with WWE is it's not about wrestling. If it were about wrestling, Daniel Bryan would have been champion forever and a day. If it was about wrestling, then guess what? AJ Styles would be SmackDown champion, not Jinder the Juice. Yes, I called him Jinder the Juice because he's obviously on something, HGH or some fucking thing. Oh no, he did it naturally. Yeah, bullshit. The size of those fucking veins don't... give me a break. Whatever. I mean, seriously, the guy went from looking like he worked at 7-Eleven to looking like he's this pro bodybuilder, or he's got like whatever. Now, if he did it naturally, I give him credit, but it looks like there's something there. Okay, like if you were to investigate them for HGH and steroids and stuff, that's the first place you would look is Jinder the Juice, because holy fuck. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to trash the guy, but he's not that good in the ring. He's just not that good. He isn't. He looks good, don't get me wrong, I give him credit. He actually looks like Hercules in a way. That's what every time I see him, he reminds me of Hercules. And I'm talking like the old Lou Ferrigno with a little beard. That's who he reminds me of. But whatever, I don't want to get into him. That's a whole other story for another time. Anyways, now I'm going to say this. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you have to understand that the bar for the WWE right now is so low. And I don't mean bar like Sheamus and Cesaro bar, because they call themselves the bar. Okay, no, the actual bar is so low. It is so deep into the ground, like just spiked into the ground. I don't even know. That even the smallest little thing is just I'm tickled pink over. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I actually did not hate Enzo Amore tonight. I didn't hate his match. Kalisto, I did not hate their match. I don't know what it is. Maybe I bumped my head or something. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. Not saying I loved it, but I didn't hate it. It was predictable as fuck that Enzo was gonna win. See, the problem with this pay-per-view and just like 99% of the rest is I really do think like Stephanie McMahon needs to go and get some like paint by numbers for Vince, because this shit has been paint by numbers for a long fucking time. The whole thing was paint by numbers. Even the main event was paint by numbers. I'll get into that in a minute. I called 99% of that freaking match before it happened, because it was so predictable. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But like I said, I did not hate the match. It wasn't a great match, don't get me wrong. But Enzo is growing on me, and I don't know why. Again, the bar is so low that he is actually kind of entertaining. He's funny to listen to. Is he great to watch in the ring? No. But I think he had a good match tonight. I don't know about Kalisto. I've seen Kalisto do better. But Enzo, I thought, did fairly good. And he's an obnoxious little prick. And he went full heel tonight. He's like blaming the crowd, like, I did this and you didn't do anything. You guys suck and blah blah blah. So he went full heel tonight, which is cool. But yeah, 205 Live, which is your cruiserweight, which is your little guys. Some people are calling for the cancellation of the show. I think canceling 205 Live is a mistake, because what do you do with those guys? You put them on Raw? Well, here's a news flash. There's a bunch of people on Raw who don't get spots on the show because booking and just creative is bullshit. So now you're going to add in these 10, 15 guys, whatever it is, into the show. So now you're going to get at least half of them aren't going to be on the program. You're not going to see them on TV. And then who from Raw gets to sit down for God knows how long? I mean, I think that's a bad idea. Now, what they need to do for 205 Live is, A, find some people who actually give a damn about the product. I mean, seriously, get some people who give a damn about the product. And put it on its own freaking... I'd put it on Sunday night. So I'd have like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Or something like that. Put it on its own... Because what they do is what is it, SmackDown or Raw? I think it's SmackDown. It comes right on after SmackDown. Now think about this. I'm assuming it's an hour. I've never even watched it, to be honest with you. I've been meaning to try to watch it, but just... I still haven't watched the original tournament that they did last year. I'm still in the middle of that. And then I'm still in the middle of... I didn't even start the European one that they did. And I'm still doing the women one, so I'm kind of backlogged on some of that shit myself. So I haven't even got into 205 Live at all, other than what you see on Raw. So I can't speak to whether it's good or bad, but it doesn't interest me enough to give a damn. And that's all I got to say on that. So, like I said, I would put it on its own, because you got 2 hours of freaking SmackDown, and they expect the audience to then sit there for another hour or whatever it is. I don't think it's 2 hours. I'm assuming it's an hour. To sit there for another hour for a bunch of people, a bunch of wrestlers who obviously Vince doesn't give a shit about, WWE doesn't give a fuck about, the creative's horrible, everything else about it is lackluster, and they're just piggybacking off the the crowd of SmackDown. You wonder why most people leave. I wonder why nobody gives a fuck. I wonder why nobody's watching the damn thing. But because you have this Cruiserweight Classic where you bring in all these new guys, and they go and they have this tournament, and it's great. It's freaking amazing. And then they get their own show, and the show sucks. It's like NXT is great, Raw is garbage. The Cruiserweight Classic, great. Move them up to the main roster, sucks. I don't understand the logic there. It's like you spend... I mean, seriously, listen, Vince can spend his money how he wants, but if you're going to spend all this fucking money building NXT, building these stupid classics, Cruiserweight Classics and Women's Classics and all these other shit things, you're going to do all that and then bring them up and basically piss on everybody and say, what's the fucking point of that? What is the absolute point of that? I'll be honest, I think Vince is senile. I'll be honest with you. Because, listen, I love Vince. Listen, I don't want to trash Vince. I mean, you look back at the original WrestleMania 1. That motherfucker created pay-per-view before pay-per-view was a thing. They literally had, was it 2... stadiums or theater or whatever the hell it was. They had 2 of them sold out, and they basically went live back and forth to each other, or whatever the hell it was. But he basically created pay-per-view before pay-per-view was a thing. Listen, I respect the shit out of the guy, what he did, how he, because you gotta understand what his father was doing. His father basically took wrestling as far as it could go, because it was based on territories, where it's like, okay, the East is here, the South, the Midwest, so on and so forth. And it was like, well, this is the best we can do. And he's like, no, fuck that. Let's go get Hogan and, let's do away with the territories. He basically crippled the territories, Vince did, and turned WWE into this juggernaut that it is today. But the problem with that, it's the only thing today. It is literally run by him. That's it. And if his little whim is like, oh, Tyler Breeze, I don't like you because, you took off, somebody told you to take, or whatever the problem was, somebody told him to take off and go to the next show, and Vince was looking around for him, where is he, I want him to wrestle him, blah, 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 and he's not here, and whatever. Now, I don't know if that's a true story, but whatever, Tyler Breeze completely got buried. Hell, Vince fucking buried Triple H back in the freaking curtain call days, back when Razor Ramon and Diesel Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were going to jump ship and go over to WCW, they all went out in the middle of the ring and they hugged each other, and Michaels and Triple H, and they all hugged each other because they were friends, and everybody in the arena went nuts and blah blah blah. Well, Vince didn't like that because it broke the fourth wall, and it's like, oh, we're going to keep the appearance of the rivalries and blah 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 and bullshit. And of course, Michaels was going through shit at the time, and he was a top guy. You're not going to fuck with him. Triple H was sort of new, so who got shit on? Triple H. Triple H, for like 2 years of his career, was buried. He did nothing. Well, here's the newsflash. Not everybody can marry the boss's daughter. Tyler Breeze can't marry the boss's daughter. Okay? Neville can't marry the boss's daughter. Half these guys, Cody Rhodes, can't marry the boss's daughter. No, they can't do that. So to have somebody take 2 years off their career because Vince is on a whim of bullshit, well, guess what? That's a fucking problem. I'm not paying you motherfuckers to have Vince get off on his bullshit. I'm there. I want to see Tyler Breeze win. Wrestle. I actually want to see the kid wrestle. I want to see the kid perform. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's there for. If he's given a chance, he's actually good. Because he had some good matches, and people don't remember this. He had some good matches back in NXT with Neville and Tyson Kidd. He should have been the champion. He had some great matches right around that time. And all of a sudden, he gets called up to the main roster, Vince, and that's the end of it. And 2 years off, actually probably closer to 3 or 4 years off the kid's career. It's over. And now he's doing fashion files. He's not even wrestling in the fucking matches. He's doing some skits in the back. That really way to foster the fucking talent that you spent money on, asshole. Seriously. Dude, I'm sorry, Vince is fucking senile. Now, back to what I was saying. I respect the shit out of him, though. Even though I say that, I respect his ass. Because what happened was, his old man, and I use the term old man specifically because his old man reached the limit of what he could do. Vince said, hey, you know what, I think we can go into bigger places. And then Vince actually went and did that. Well, guess what? Here's a newsflash. Vince is now the old man. And it's time to take this product that is stale as fuck and put it into a new stratosphere somewhere. Okay, Vince has definitely gone as far as he can go. It's true. It's damn true if I were to quote Kurt Angle, but whatever. And again, I'm not railing on Vince. I really don't want to rail on Vince. But he is the leader of it all. The ship sinks, it's his fault. And the ship's sinking. Because, you gotta understand, there's actually I guess there's like 3 types of fans. There's the just completely fan, and then there's the fan who, they get it, but they suspend the belief. And then there's people like me who I want to see a bigger picture. I want to see intelligence behind it. I want them to explain why, for example, AJ Styles from SmackDown is coming to Raw, which they did. I'll give them credit. They did do that. They're like, oh, this is a one time only. Bray Wyatt was, sick, and we needed him one time only. I appreciate that. I actually do appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty, because obviously everybody knew about it, because it's, because you understand. There's, how do I word this? There's the people who do the background news and shit, like, basically they spoil everything. It's like, if you listen to that stuff, oh, so-and-so's going to win, blah, 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 that's a thought in the back, and so on and so forth, and there's rumors of this, rumors of that. 99% of that shit's true. 90% of it is true. So, when I hear that stuff, and I'm intrigued by it, because I'm a fan of the product, and then I see stuff play out, and it's like, what? What? Are you kidding me? Because there's two variants of fan. There's the fan who gets it, like me. I get it. I hear the stuff. I follow the news. I follow it, but I want to suspend that belief. I want to be like, yeah, that guy just jumped off a steel cage and whatever. I want to suspend the belief. I want to be like, yeah, Kane just called up fire from hell, and this is really just a sparkler on the edge of the ring post. Okay, I want to suspend that belief. I do. I do. I want to be your mark. I want to mark out to that shit. But sometimes I look at it and it's like illogical booking and just stupid storylines. Speaking of those things, oh my god, what in the fuck were they thinking with Bray fucking Wyatt? Well, I know what they were thinking because it's plain as fuck day. It's like, basically you have, for those who don't know, you have this character Finn Balor, who's just a guy and he wrestles. Well, on occasion, if it's a quote-unquote big match, like a WrestleMania or something, because you got the big ones, you got Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and then the rest of the pay-per-views are kind of throwaways half the time anyway, but whatever. Well, if it's a big match or it's, big opponent or something, he will quote-unquote transform into the demon, which is basically he has his face paint. And I gotta be honest, his face paint tonight was boring as fuck. Because the first time I saw him in NXT, holy shit, dude. Holy shit, that was so fucking cool. That was the coolest thing, because what he did is he had like these teeth. Now he does it occasionally, but this one he didn't. He had these white streaks on his face and on his chest, and when he'd lift his head up, it literally looked like a demon opening its mouth because it looked like teeth. And it was all black and shit. And he got the eyes on the side of his face. It looked so fucking cool. And he got the smoke, and he's got the little dreadlock things, and he looks like the Predator with that shit. And then he coming out, and he's crawling around on the floor, and okay, it just looked so cool. I mean, as a performance, it was great. Now I have to admit, I haven't been that impressed with it since then, because they did change it up like 2 or 3 other times in NXT, and then the ones on Raw, I think I saw one, I think the last time or the time before that was okay, it was good. This one was kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. This one I thought was really boring. The face paint was boring, it had these little hands or something, I don't know what the fuck it was. Not as exciting facial, as far as the paint goes, but whatever. So he turns into the demon, supposedly, Again, suspend your belief. I want to. Yeah, he's the demon now. Because the thing is, Finn Balor can be defeated, but the demon can't. The demon hasn't been defeated yet. That's the story. That's the way it's booked, the way it's told. That's the narrative. Well, Bray Wyatt. Now I love the Bray Wyatt character. I think the Bray Wyatt character is awesome. And he cuts one hell of a fucking promo. He's always talking about, I can't even think of it. It's just, he's always talking like, he's kind of like this New Orleans witch doctor kind of guy. Not like Papa Shango, but more like sitting in a rocking chair, and he's got the beard, and he's like, the end of days is here. And the smoke will rise from the ashes and blah, blah. He's talking all types of shit. Right? And it's great because he can just throw that shit right out there. And it's beautiful. What he does verbally is an art. And it's great. And then they book him like a fucking retard. Like, oh, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to challenge everybody and then lose. I mean, dude, the way Bray Wyatt speaks, he shouldn't be losing shit. Okay, the end of days, and the sun will turn dark and the moon will turn to blood and we're all gonna die and blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden he goes in and loses. It's just like, really. It's just fix your shit. Fix your fucking shit, WWE. Seriously. Well, he has his finishing move where he grabs, he'll basically bend somebody over sideways and almost put him in this headlock, over by his hip region, and he'll lift them up and kiss them on the forehead and then flip them around, and it's basically called quote unquote Sister Abigail. Well, there's this fan speculation that Sister Abigail will someday make an appearance. Well, apparently she did. Now, the narrative of the story is that she died somehow. We don't really know how. Maybe Bray had something to do with it, or somebody did something. It kind of hints at, what was that movie? Stir of Echoes. kind of movie where it's like the girl was getting, I don't want to say molested, but whatever, whatever. But it kind of hints at, maybe some, you got this backwater family, and maybe somebody like did something to her, then killed her, and Bray killed them, or it's just it's this weird, like, you don't really know, and you kind of piece it together, and you're like, because it's awesome, because what your mind can think up is probably way better than what they're going to tell you it is, and they leave it vague, which is great. So, well, instead of finding a female to play Sister Abigail, which, by the way, I would have, there's numerous females that are in like the independent scene and stuff. I would have brought up Nikki Cross and made her look just like the girl from The Ring, with the hair over her face, and like and you do the right lighting, and because what they'll do is they'll turn the lights off, and you'll see, like, when the lights come back on, somebody will be standing in the ring, like Kane will be standing in the ring, or somebody will stand in the ring, or something. Dude, you do something like that with this creepy chick, and she's not saying anything, she's not doing anything, she's just like this flash, like, and you see her, and then the lights go out, and she's gone. When the lights come back on, you could do some creepy shit with her. Especially Nadine, I called her Nadine Cross. Yeah, that's from The Stand. Nikki Cross. And again, I would have used her, because it's great. She could stay in NXT and then come up every once in a blue moon for a pay-per-view and be Sister Abigail. Would have been perfect. But no. Creative, WWE Wonders at Creative wanted to follow suit with Finn Balor, because Finn Balor turns into the Demon. So now we have to have Bray Wyatt, this portly, bearded dude who sits in a rocking chair and basically sips fermented beer that he makes in his fermented whiskey that he makes in his own basement. Okay, talking about the end of days and shit, while he does like witchcraft shit in the back 40. Okay, he's going to quote unquote transform into Sister Abigail, which, now they did this spot. I wanted it to be cool, but he's sitting there in his chair, and all of a sudden the little screen does this little spiral motion, and all of a sudden you see he's got this veil over his face, and is like white around his eyes. You can clearly see it's him. And they fuck up the sound, so it sounds like a creeped out woman, but they fucked it up so bad that occasionally it sounded like Bray speaking, even though it was muddled. But occasionally you would hear sections where it wasn't muddled or not enough, and it sounded like him speaking. So it's supposed to be Sister Abigail, who's this spirit, is now inhabiting him, so now he's turned into Sister Abigail. And it's just absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. I'm going to say this as a matter-of-fact fact, and I am not the only one, but thank God for that viral meningitis, because that would have embarrassed Bray Wyatt again. They would have embarrassed him again. Bray Wyatt in drag. No, I don't want to see Bray Wyatt in drag. The guy's too fucking good for shitty fucking booking and shitty fucking creative. They could do so much cool stuff with that, and they just choose not to. But again, I understand it, because one turns into the Demon, and he's going to turn into the other, and then there's going to be Sister Abigail versus the Demon. Thank the Christ it didn't happen. That's all I got to say on that. And hope the fuck that stupid feud is over, because it was going nowhere fast. Anyways, let's get to the main event. I called almost every single aspect of it before it happened. Because now everybody was kind of joking. In fact, some people had actually taken like pictures of Kurt Angle's head and posted it on Roman Reigns' body, because he was basically replacing Roman Reigns, and you need a big name. So the Shield which consists of Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, which everybody hates Roman Reigns, but now, because it's funny, they love the Shield, but they hate Roman Reigns, so it's kind of like, ooh, we don't know if we should cheer or boo. So Shield comes out, it's like, yay, and then Roman comes out by himself, it's boo. They don't know what to do. Well, some people on Facebook had basically taken Kurt Angle's head and put it over Roman Reigns' body, and they have this entrance where they walk down they don't walk down the ramp, but they walk down the stairs in the audience. It's like the audience, like the crowd is literally like tapping them on the shoulder and like, yay, like trying to get in the shot, and you know. Now I don't know how I feel about that, because Kurt Angle, instead of coming out in his actual gear, he came out in the Shield, because they have like these SWAT vests, and they're all dressed in black, and he comes out dressed all in black to the Shield theme, and it's like, now they have this thing called, what's it called? I forgot. Imploding or explode, something, where it's like Ultimate Warrior used to do that shit. Or blow up. Like, he'd blow up before he got to the ring. In other words, he'd be winded by the time he got to the ring, because he'd run so fast, and he'd get in the ring and he'd shake the ropes and shit, and it'd be like, no, he had, you know, good cardio, but, you know, like a normal wrestler does that shit, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know, it's like you could almost see Kurt going down the stairs. It's like, I almost felt bad for him, because it's like he's blowing up before he even gets to the fucking ring. Now I knew this as a fact, because I've seen enough WWE products. I can literally call it before it happens. Now, this was a 5-on-3 match. You got the Shield, followed by the Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro. And I really wish Cesaro could take that fucking mouthpiece out when he speaks, because my name is Cesaro, and yeah, we are the Bar. No, it's just shut the fuck up. I love Cesaro, but don't get me wrong, I don't know if he needs to keep that in 24/7 or what, but yeah, because what happened was, and again, those who don't know, was it last month or whatever, they did this spot where they slingshot, where like Cesaro was laying on his back, and Ambrose grabbed him by the feet and put like his feet under Cesaro's butt, and he kind of leaned back and like fell on his back, and Cesaro sprang up, and when he did, he hit the fucking ring post. He like jumped over the turnbuckles into the post, and his front fucking teeth smashed into the damn thing. They literally got shoved up into his gum lines, dude. Holy shit, that had to fucking hurt. Just thinking about it. I mean, they were up, I don't even know, like how many centimeters or whatnot. I don't even know what a centimeter is, because I'm not European and gay, but that's whatever. It is what it is. But he had them, like, they were shoved the fuck up in there. Like, they were deep. Like, into his fucking brain. It was like, holy shit. So I don't know what they had to do. I think they had to, like, go in there and, like, pull him down, or I don't know. I don't know what they had to do. But he was fucked up. And, dude, that guy is a fucking machine. I give him a shitload of credit, because he not only went through the physical pain of that, but the amount of blood that he had going on. This wasn't like some spot. I mean, his teeth, you could literally see his teeth were jammed up in there. Like, his teeth were fucked up. This was like legit shit. And he went for another 10 minutes and finished the match. And you got to give the guy credit for going, dude, if that happened to me, I'd be running in the back screaming like a bitch. Okay. I would be panicking and screaming like a bitch. I ain't gonna lie about that. But this guy was a fucking machine, dude. I give him credit. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So you have those two. You got The Miz, who, I gotta be honest with you, The Miz was straight garbage for most of his career. But then was it last year on the Talking Smack? They had this little segment after the SmackDown where they'd have like two two people would be sitting there, and then different wrestlers would come out and they'd basically just cut promos and shit, be like, you know, oh, blah, 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 or they'd do like little mini mock interviews or whatever. Well, anyways, Miz came out and started cutting this massive promo on Daniel Bryan, and ever since then, holy shit, he has been amazing. Just straight up amazing. That was a turning point for his career. Like, he has been the single best thing on SmackDown when he was there, and now on Raw. He is literally the best thing on Raw right now. So you got him running around, and you got Braun Strowman, who's fucking... Dude, that guy is gold. That guy is just straight gold. Like, you see these videos where he's doing stuff, like he went to Walmart the other day. Just, you gotta picture this dude. Dude, he's got to be close to 7 feet tall. He's this huge guy. I mean, just big as fuck. Not fat, but like just honking big, like trombone kind of big. Like, just holy shit. He's got this huge beard. And he's got this great hairstyle, because it's like he's got this ponytail, but like the sides of his head are shaved. So he's got like this almost like a reverse mohawk in a way. The guy is pure gold. I mean, just in general. And what he does in the ring, and just this whole like, he's supposed to be the monster among men. The guy is just fucking fantastic. I don't know why he's not champion yet. Okay, fuck Lesnar. Fuck Lesnar. Oh, before I go into any more of this, the fucking pay-per-view is called TLC. That's tables, ladders, and fucking chairs. Guess what? There were no tables, ladders, or chairs, except for the last freaking match. You have a themed pay-per-view with one match about said theme. Absolute bullshit. Now, I know they're cutting back and stuff, like they cut back the pyro and stuff. How about this? How about you get fucking rid of Brock Lesnar instead of paying him $6 million fucking dollars to show up 3 times a year? How about you get rid of his ass, tell him to go fuck off, and then take that $6 million, add a little bit of pyro, and have a couple more fucking matches where you could break some tables and chairs. Give me a break. Anyway, so that's my... that was my beef with that. Next had to be... see, who else was there? Kane shows up just out of fucking nowhere. He shows up last week or whatever. And he's like, oh, Kane, Okay, now I like Kane, but I don't like Kane that much. Anyways, the point that I'm going to make is that I literally called this entire thing. So anyways, you got you got Ambrose and Rollins and Kurt. They come down. And again, it's 3-on-5. And they grab chairs and they start beating the bejesus out of everybody. Like, the guys who have 5 are outnumbered. I mean, again, typical logic of WWE. But, I understand that. As it started, I'm like, Kurt Angle is going to get put through a table. And I thought it would be through an announce table. But I figured a table of some kind. He would get put through a table, and they'd help him in the back. And I knew it. The minute Braun Strowman picks him up, puts him on his shoulder, I'm like, this is it. He's going through the table. He's going through the table. Boom, he goes to the table, and I'm like, okay, they're going to help him up. They're going to take him in the back. Because what they're going to do, about 15 minutes into it, after everybody else has kind of gone through their thing, so it's going to be 5-on-2. Next thing you know, you're going to see Angle. Now, here's what I thought they were going to do. I knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're going to hear Angle's actual theme music come, and he was going to come out. I thought he'd come out, instead of dressed like Shield, he was going to come out dressed in his own ring gear. Why? So he could go down into the ring, because he does this thing where it's like he kind of like does this Hulk up move where it's like, he like flexes and shit, and then he pulls down the straps of his little onesie. I thought they would do something like that, where he's like, and he does that, and so maybe throw Braun Strowman around a little bit or something, just go completely ham on everybody. That's what I thought they were going to do. Now, he did do that, but he came back out to his own music like I thought he would, but he was still dressed in the Shield gear. And I knew exactly how it was gonna end, and it ended exactly the way it was supposed to end. You know, Miz puts his finishing move on Angle, and of course Angle kicks out, and then the other two members of Shield come in. They put Miz up to do the power bomb, which is the thing that Roman Reigns always does. So Angle power bombs him in 1, 2, 3, and the 3 guys versus the 5, they win. But now there was a couple interesting spots because it couldn't have been 5-on-2 for that whole 15 minutes. Now I did expect, potentially, I figured one of two things is going to happen. Either somebody's going to turn of the 5 on each other, or somebody's going to come down. Now I thought maybe they could, I don't know. I was speculating. I didn't really think too much about it, but something like maybe Authors of Pain, because they're dressed like Shield. Maybe they're part of Shield, or helping Shield out, or something, which would make it 5-on-5 or something like that. I thought maybe something like that could happen, but if not, then somebody would have to, of their team, have to go against each other, because there's just no way you're gonna go 15, 20 minute, whatever it is, with 5-on-2. Well, and sure enough, Kane and Braun Strowman, these two big monster guys, go ham all over each other. And I have to admit, it was okay. I once you got past the circus of it all, the insanity of it all, once you got past all that, I don't know, it got to the point where it's like, I'm not questioning anymore. I'm just going to kind of enjoy it, if that makes any sense at all. Now, if I'm looking at it logically, there's a few issues, but at that point I didn't care, because at that point, let's be honest, at that point Miz, they had all left the ring. They're all by the front ramp, and Miz he waves to the back, and you're thinking, oh, somebody's going to come out. It's going to be it's going to be complete decimation of these two guys. Well, all of a sudden you hear this beep, 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 and you look, there's a fucking trash truck backing out into the side there over by the ramp. And you're like, okay, again, like it's some metaphor for the whole Shield reunion. So anyways, the 5 guys go to take Ambrose and Rollins and stick them in the trash truck. While they throw them in there, they eventually, battle their way out. Basically they jumped from the truck onto the 5 guys. Everybody spills onto the floor. Now at this point, Kane and Braun are going at it, because they had a little miscommunication during the match. Kane accidentally hit Braun with a chair. Braun got pissed, pushed Kane on the thing. So now these two are going at it, which, again, it makes sense because it was just so stupid. The 5-on-2 was just stupid, so you had to do that. You had to do that because of what was going on. Even though it was just stupid that they did that, but whatever. Well, all of a sudden, Kane picks up Braun, which, again, Braun is a big guy. He is a big, thick motherfucker. He's like a bull. He's like a piece of beef. Now, Kane is 7 feet tall. And he's a thick motherfucker too. But Braun is like thick, like hard thick. Kane is just thick, but he doesn't come across as being like super like hard, like brick wall hard. Although he is, don't get me wrong when I say that. But Braun is like, I don't know, I can't even, whatever. But Braun is like a big dude. Like, I can't even, anyways, he picks him up on his shoulder, or picks him up, and then like slams him into the stage area, and he collapses through the floor. They had like these these crates or whatever, and he crashes through the floor. And they had as a display this wire hanging. They had all these wires, and they had these chairs, at least 7 or 8 of them, hanging on the wire. So like every foot or two, you'd see another chair. Again, we're talking metal, steel chairs. So you had like these almost like, I don't even know what you call, what are those things called, where they little streamers or whatever. Well, there's like a whole bunch of them around the back area, back where the ramp is. Well, Kane looks up and he looks down and he looks up and he starts to smile and he grabs this thing and just yanks it down. And like 25 chairs. Now keep in mind, these aren't like folded. They're open. They're steel chairs that are open. And they're just like just fall and bury Braun Strowman down in this little pit that he's in. Okay. And it's like, holy shit. You know, because it's like, you know, it just, it looked really cool. It did. I have to admit, it looked really fucking great. It did. It looked great. And it was a good spot for Kane. It was good. It was good. At that point, it was good. Let's put it that way. At the amount of stupid shit that had been going on, it was good. Okay. Is it ideal? You know, no, but once you cross the line of, okay, this is not believable anymore, it's just insanity. It's just, they're going all over the place, like there's no rhyme or reason. Because you gotta understand, the wrestling, I know people, oh, it's fake. Yes, it's fake, but it has to tell a story, and it has to do it well, and it has to adhere to certain things. And well, this match didn't adhere to shit. It basically was just like, oh, here's a free for all. Let's see what happens. Let's bring out a garbage truck. Let's and whatever. So, anyways, all of a sudden, Kane then goes back, and now you got no, it's 4-on-2, and they're beating the bejesus out of the Shield, the other 2 members of Shield. All of a sudden, out of the blue, you see Braun Strowman starting to stir, because the way they were playing up, the way the announcer was playing, like, oh my god, he's dead, and he's gone, he's out of it, you're never going to see him again, you know, whatever. And all of a sudden he starts to stir, and he pulls himself up out of this pit that he was in, and chairs are flinging all over the place, and all of a sudden he goes beelines for Kane. Anyways, it ends up with the 4 start beating up on Braun Strowman now. And they end up dumping him into the trash truck. Now, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. Miz pushes the button, you know, when they compact all that shit and they like crush it up, and the thing, and this is the whole back end kind of grovels up into the belly of the thing. Well, he's supposedly in this fucking thing. Now, I don't know, again, he went in, I don't know what trickery they did to get him out of it. I don't know if it was a false back or something, I have no idea. They pushed the button and the thing went, and Miz is looking at it like, gee, should I really have done that? Well, the other guys were kind of laughing, and Kane is laughing because it's like, this guy's an idiot, fuck him, you know. But Miz was actually showing a little bit of concern, like, holy shit, did I just crush this guy for real? Anyway, he waves off the truck takes off, and then they go back to wrestling. And they move it back toward the ring, and the next thing you know, Kurt Angle comes out, and then to finish what I said. But, I mean, I totally called 90% of what was going on. The only thing I got wrong was I thought he'd come out in his original gear so he could pull down the straps and do that whole thing that he does. And that was basically the only thing I got wrong on that whole fucking match. And you gotta keep in mind, this was a match. I didn't expect the truck. I admit that. That I didn't expect. Those 2 things were not what I expected. Now, I knew Kurt Angle was going to get taken out, and I knew he was going to come back because they've used that numerous times. They did it with Roman Reigns once. They did it with Brock Lesnar, I think twice, and not that long ago. So I knew what they were going to do because, again, they've done it before. So it was no big surprise. So it's not like I'm, a psychic or anything. It's just they reuse the same shit. Anyways, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know how I feel about the pay-per-view. Well, I do want to talk about quickly. It says Bray Wyatt ended up getting sidelined with the illness. They had to bring AJ Styles up to go against the Demon, Finn Balor. Now, I gotta be honest with you. AJ looked tired as fuck because he was in Chile, and it was like 18-hour flight. And he got word Thursday night, and they said, wrestle Friday, and then when you're done, immediately get on a plane. Like, just immediately, like, don't even shower, just get on a plane. And he basically flew 18 hours to be there for Sunday night. So he looked tired as fuck. He's jet-lagged. And I gotta be honest, the match was not as good as it should have been. Not as good as it could have been. But I don't fault AJ for that at all because, dude, he was jet-lagged as fuck. I mean, there's no getting around that fact. There was no getting around it. Again, 18-hour flight, dude. And then he comes in and it's got to perform. They deserve to have a rematch somewhere. Absolutely deserve to have a rematch. Now, I would have it because I think AJ's going up against Jinder the Juice, and personally, I'd say fuck that. Because especially if Jinder the Juice is going to win, if that's the goal, and they're going to have AJ lose to him, fuck that. Now, if he's going to win the title, maybe keep it. But I would have him go Survivor Series, which is, 18th of November, with next month's pay-per-view. I'd have them, because it's Survivor Series, it's basically Raw versus SmackDown. I'd do the number 2 match between those two. Because it was a damn good match for the little bit of time they had, and as tired as he was. It was a damn good match for what they did. It wasn't as great as it could have been, but everybody liked it. So I'm not going to fault any of that. There's nothing to fault there. But whatever. But I would have their second match be at Survivor Series. Because what they could do, the Demon is undefeated, but Finn Balor can be defeated. So now AJ lost to the Demon, he could also win against Finn Balor. And then because they're on two different brands, because this is the only time you're going to have brand versus brand at Survivor Series, I'd have those two go at it one more time. AJ wins, and then WrestleMania, they could do the three-way, or the third match between them, the rubber match, if you will. And that, I think, would work out way, way, way better than anything they got planned. I tell you right now. But that's just me. But yeah, seriously, if Jinder the Juice is going to win, I don't know. Now, the only maybe good thing that could come out of Jinder the Juice is that AJ lost this match, but I don't think it necessarily matters because it really was a one-time only. So because they want to push Jinder the Juice because they're trying to move into India and they want this Indian star, even though he's not even that good. Now I would have him be the U.S. champion because now you got this Muslim dude. He's got the turban and modern day Maharaja, whatever the fuck he calls himself. I'd have him be the U.S. champion because that would be great because it's like, oh, USA, Muslims, and they would play up on that stereotype of people don't like that. Certain people don't like that, I should say. And they could play that up a lot better than trying to make him a believable champ, and he's not a believable champ at all. Where AJ's the champ, he should definitely have the fucking title. That's all I got to say on that, but whatever. But anyways, like I said, I'm giving it a generous 6 out of 10. But if it had been left up to its own devices, if it had been left up to its original booking, this would have been a complete garbage pay-per-view. 3 out of 10, bare minimum. And that's even if you just overlook everything and say like, oh, the main event, Shield reunion, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna suspend reality and just enjoy it for what it is instead of nitpicking it and be like, well, that doesn't make any sense, and why is there a garbage truck here? Why is this here? Why is that? You know, why is even Kane in this fucking feud at all? Why did they even bring him back? You know, instead of trying to question everything, I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, bang your head against the wall until you see blood. You know, that kind of a fan. But, you know, whatever. It would have been a 3 out of 10. You would have had the Mickie James Alexa match, and then you would have had the main event, which was this that I've been talking about. So the rest of it would have been The rest of it was I mean, they had 2 cruiserweight matches on there that were kind of like just filler. They were filler matches. So anyways, yeah, you know what? That's my review. That's my review. I did not mean to go an hour and 5 fucking minutes on this stupid review, but seriously, why? Why are we? Why? This is October, fools. Why are we having TLC when one fucking match had tables, ladders, and chairs? Now, I do agree with some people on the internet where the Enzo match could have been a ladder match. There should have been a chair match. There wasn't. There was none of that. Nothing. What the fuck? And why? Why do we have to have stupid themed pay-per-views? Because I'll be honest with you, the TLC part of TLC had 0 benefit in the main event. There's no point for it. None at all. Now, they did do a couple spots with the ladder where the 2 of them jumped off and, you know, and the chairs. Okay, fine, but you could have a TLC match and not a TLC pay-per-view. Not when you've got great pay-per-views like Halloween fucking Havoc that everyone wants returned. Everybody wants Halloween Havoc. It's fucking October. We want Halloween Havoc, not TLC. The fucking care about TLC. Nobody cares about TLC. I mean, come on, man. Halloween fucking Havoc or TLC with one match that didn't even need it. I would have made the women match a chair match or a ladder match or something. Actually, a table match probably would have been good. In fact, throughout the entire fucking show, the fans kept chanting, "We want tables," and they're like, "Nope, no tables, no tables, no chairs, no nothing. It's called TLC, but we're not seeing any of that stuff until the last fucking match." Just stupid, absolute. Now, I'm sorry, if you're going to do a fucking because if you're going to do a fucking themed pay-per-view, then every single match should have been a TLC. Either a table, ladder, chair, or all 3. Okay? It just should have been. Just by the very nature of it. They say, well, that would get a little boring. Well, whose fault is that? You got yearly pay-per-views that are themed, like Hell in a Cell. You don't need Hell in a fucking Cell. There could be a Hell in a Cell match, but not Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Why is there Hell in a Cell fucking pay-per-view, for fuck's sake? Now, keep in mind, they had 2 this month, so instead of getting Halloween Havoc, we had Hell in a Cell, because Hell and Evil and Satanic, Halloween, I guess, and then we had TLC. So, okay. Yet, no Halloween Havoc. Okay, makes no sense, but okay. We have Hell in a Cell. I think there was 2 cell matches on the entire fucking card. 2. So do you realize between 2 themed pay-per-views, we had 3 matches that were of the 2 themes? What the fuck? Whatever, man. Whatever. They wonder why sales are down. You wonder why Vince had to get rid of fucking Pyro. Because you're making stupid fucking decisions and people don't want to see this shit. It's annoying. It's just absolutely annoying. The way I would do it to make everything better is get rid of the jobber status, get rid of the guy status, and make everybody the guy or girl. Now, I'm sorry, I want to watch NXT where it's like, I don't care who wins. Every match should be a dream match like AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Every match should be like that. Now, I can understand Raw being, 5 minute matches, 2 minute matches, 3 minute matches. It's mainly a quick little showcase. I could deal with that. But on your pay-per-view, seriously, you're telling me that you cannot make everybody look good, make everybody look strong, so that to the point where it's like, because back in the day, and they even did this with Roman Reigns, but back in the day, it was basically John Cena versus LOL. It didn't matter. He was going to win no matter what. He's going to kick out at 2. Basically, now Cena pisses me off, and I talked about earlier, he can't wrestle for shit. It's ironic. Basically, you had Hogan, who had 3 moves of doom. He had like a leg drop. He did the Hulk up, and he did like the thing with his ear, or he put his little hand to his ear. He had 3 moves, basically. Cena was actually a step up. He had 5 moves of doom. Now, Reigns, I think, has like 7 or 8 moves. And Reigns can actually put a lot of that shit together. So Reigns is actually a much better wrestler, and I'm saying that loosely, than John Cena. Now, he's not the best wrestler, even remotely close. But he is way better than Hogan, and he is way better than Cena put together. And I will give him credit. I will give Reigns credit, even though I'm not a big fan. I will give him credit. But... And those are your top guys. Those are the ones who carry the brand. They are the face of the company. They can't wrestle, and they're the face of the company. I don't understand that. Yeah, you take somebody like Roddy Piper, he was never champion. What the fuck is with that? I mean, those were top guys who never were heavyweight champion. Yet, John Cena's 16-time world champion. The guy can't wrestle for shit. Ric Flair is 1 billion years old. He's been AWA, BBC, 456, 987, 492, FBI, 394, whatever fucking group it was, the FFF, WWWFFF, whatever the fuck, whatever all those groups were, he's been in every single solitary one of them, and he's been champion in every single solitary one of them. John Cena has been champion 15 times in 13 years. Now, he did take a little bit of time off where they didn't give him the title for 2 years, but I've done the math on that. That means John Cena has been champion 15 times in 13 years, and that means he has been in almost every single solitary pay-per-view, either as champion or as a contender. And then they wonder why, Triple H has to fill in for AJ Styles, because AJ Styles is going to go to Raw because they had nobody else to fill in for fucking Bray Wyatt. And why they had to ruin Kurt Angle's debut because they had nobody else, big name talent, to fill up the fucking roster. Maybe if you made people and take your NXT stars that were already created and already made and actually, push them forward and keep them going, keep their, their momentum going, you'd have a bunch of fucking stars. So guess what? You could lose a Roman Reigns, you could lose a fucking Bray Wyatt, but your card would still be halfway fucking decent. But no, who am I? We're gonna put all our eggs in Roman Reigns' basket. Well, guess what, motherfucker? He got sick. Reality booked a better fucking show than Vince McMahon did. And that's all I got to say on that. Anyway, this is the fucking review. I don't care. Crap pay-per-view. Better than what it should have been. Better than what it was. But still had a lot of problems. Anyways, fuck you.